Hello, my dear students, friend. Happy evening. This is Dr. H.S. Afzal Basha, Assistant Professor, Department of Management Studies, J. Pulaya College of Engineering Technology. Today, I would like to give a small briefing on Introduction to Entrepreneurship. Let's start our session with a quote. So, all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. This has been uttered by Walt Disney, a famous businessman. You have to failure as a beginning, you have to see the failure as a beginning and the middle, but never entertain it as an end, said by Jessica. So, with these two quotes, I would like to start my session on entrepreneurship. So, let's start. What before I'm going to start, let's see a glance what we are going to discuss on these basic concepts called as entrepreneurship today. So, we are going to discuss about the concept like definition of entrepreneur, entrepreneurial traits are characteristic features of the people called as entrepreneurs, entrepreneur versus manager. We are going to talk about entrepreneur versus entrepreneur, the entrepreneurial decision process, and role of entrepreneurship in economic development, and so on concepts we are going to discuss. Let's see one by one. First one, what is mean by entrepreneur? When we're going to talk about the startup, the businesses, the new entities, are lots of money, are new innovations, are new sort of businesses, we are going to get a sort of confusion. What is meant by entrepreneur? What is the basic difference between the entrepreneur called as the person called as entrepreneur and person called as businessman? Is there any difference and so on? So let's start a discussion with the word uh, the meaning of the word with called as entrepreneur. So basically the word entrepreneur has been derived from a French word entreprendre, which means an organizer or a coordinator or a director of a musical troupe who's having the ability to organize the required thing is called as an entrepreneur. In initial ages, like the initial 16th century, this word was used in civil construction like fortification and so on. In 17th century, the same word was used in military expeditions. In 18th century onwards, this word has been started to use in economic aspects. So from 18th century, the person who is having the ability to organize the things or procure the things are started to call as the entrepreneurs. So the basic difference between the entrepreneur and entrepreneurship is entrepreneur is a person or individual who is going to start a business with an innovative thought by taking some risk by organizing required thing is called as an entrepreneur. When come to entrepreneurship, as you know, entrepreneurship is a verb which deals with a process or performance or an activity through which a business is going to start or an operation is going to start by the person called as entrepreneurs. So entrepreneur is a person, whereas entrepreneurship is a process or activity which is going to be taken care by the person called as entrepreneur. Next one, definition of entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship is the purposeful activity of an individual or a group of associated individuals undertaken to initiate, maintain, or aggrandize profit by production or distribution of economic goods and services. According to A.H. Cole, entrepreneurship is based on purposeful and systematic innovation. Here, systematic innovation. It included not only the independent business but also company directors, managers who actually carried out innovations functions. Joseph A. Zubita. So these are the two basic definitions given by the top peoples. So these are two more definitions based on David Holt and ILO. Next, one more definition which has been given by Stephenson, Jarillo, and Fred Wilson. Next comes to the concept called as entrepreneurial traits. What are the basic features or the characteristics of the persons called as entrepreneur, or what are the basic functions of the entrepreneurs? Let's see innovations. So the people called as entrepreneurs are going to start the business with some innovations. What is meant by innovation? So does something new and different, which is completely unique when compared to the existing business practices or operations, seeking to do something different and unique one, try to meet the changing requirement of the customers or meet the demand of the customers is called as innovation. In simple terms, make a small sort of correction or unique combination of operation which are going to make your service or your production or your product completely or a slight different when compared to the competitors, or your competitor is called as innovations. As you know that invention is different from innovations. Invention is nothing but discovery of a new product or service called as invention, or adding new feature or new usage or new Addition to the existing services or to the product is called as a innovation. So as you know that, so next one, risk bearing. What is meant by risk bearing? Risk bearing nothing but the person called as entrepreneur must be able to assume the risk involved in the enterprise, need to be take risk. He should able to be absorb the risk. He is able to be avoid the risk. He is able to be abate the risk. Is called as risk bearing ability. In simple terms, the person should able to be absorb the risk which is involved in the operation is called as risk bearing ability. Next one, passion for the business. He should be typically passionate about his business or his dream or his venture called as passion. So next one, product or customer focus. So any product or any process or any technology which is going to produce by these startups or these entrepreneurs are called obviously customer centric, are obviously which are going to solve the problems of the society by identifying a critical area of problem. So next, execution of intelligence. Obviously, these are the people who are having the intelligence and wisdom. This those wisdom or intelligence are going to be applied in their business activities, which completely led to the successful of enterprises. Next one, what are the basic differences? Let's see the few more traits of the entrepreneurial people called as entrepreneurs. Achievement motivated, they obviously highly achieved people alert to opportunities. The seeking for the opportunities that looking like all the challenges are like opportunities to start businesses where they are very creative in nature, they are decisive, they are very energetic, they are strong work ethic. In a network is and they maintain their own sort of network. They are initiative taker, lengthy attention span, optimistic discussion, perceives persuasive, responsive to criticism, self-confident and self-starter, tenacious, tolerant and ambiguity, and visionary peoples. These are the basic features or the characteristics of the peoples called as entrepreneurs. So when it comes to the basic difference between the entrepreneurs and managers, as you know, that entrepreneurs are first a person who creates an enterprise or a company or a corporation is called as an entrepreneur. A person who is going to start a business, who is going to invest, who is going to be run, who is going to maintain, who is going to make all sort of decisions is called as an entrepreneur. When it comes to a manager, manager is an individual who is going to render his services, to a person called as entrepreneur by a part of his businesses is called as a manager. In simple difference, he is a boss who is going to start a business. He is an employee who is working in a company. So let's see basic comparison. Like when it comes to focus on an attribute called as first. Entrepreneurs, business startups, managers, they are going to be maintain the operations. Their motivation is achievement something in their future. Means entrepreneurs. When it comes to managers, they are looking for the power. When it comes to approach, they are informal in nature. They are formal. When it comes to status, entrepreneurs obviously the owners of the company who are going to start the businesses. When it comes to employees, obviously the manager is an employee who is going to render his services. Entrepreneur is going to get reward as a profit, whereas manager is going to get a salary for his rendering services. Decision making, obviously intuitive, he is going to take all the decisions. Calculative, only few decisions are going to be made by the people called as managers and so on. So these are the few things when it comes to entrepreneur. So an entrepreneur is someone within a company that takes risk in an effort to solve given problem and usually is in charge of undertaking innovation in product, service, or process, etc. So in simple terms, entrepreneur is a person who is going to work in a company. These are the these are the this is a concept which is going to which is using by the developing countries like the growing nations. In most probably cases, we can find this sort of entrepreneur activities or entrepreneur practices the companies of multinational companies of the USA, UK, or France, Germany, Japan, are like Norway, European countries, or Australia, so where. So these are the companies, or these are the people. These are I mean, entrepreneurs are the persons who are working in a company in a top level positions, like the CEOs of the company, like the CFOs of the company, or CEOs of the company, or CEOs of the company, or chief operating officer, or chief financial officer of the companies. So while they're going to work, while they're going to render their services in their company, on a some sort of time, on a flash, they're going to get a beautiful idea, excellent idea, which is having the ability to be converted into businesses. So these ideas are going to catch hold by these people. They're going to be reveal these. They are going to discuss on with their boss on these ideas. Then the boss is going to be the board of directors or the bosses are going to be provide the required procurement, like the required machines, human sources, money, and so on, technology and R&D laboratory and so on. Then these people called as employees are going to try to create a new service or new technology or new product from their existing companies. Thus people called as entrepreneurs, creating innovation by working in a company, by getting a new ideas, by making people agree with the ideas and so on. These people called as entrepreneurs. So these are the practices which are followed by the topmost companies in USA and European country. We can find this. So the basic difference between the entrepreneur and the entrepreneurs, as I told you. Next, see what is meant by entrepreneurial process. When it comes to entrepreneurial process, it's a process of the present status, reason why are reason for changing the present status, desire to become an entrepreneur, possibility to become an entrepreneur, and become as an entrepreneur. So steps in entrepreneurial process: first discovery, conceptual development, next resourcing, next actualization, and last one harvesting. So what is meant by discovery means the first and foremost stage where an idea is going to be generated, an idea is going to be scrutinized, an idea is going to evaluate on the basis of the pros and cons is called as discovery stage. Next level, this idea is going to be converted into, once they are going to identify a beautiful idea out of 100 ideas, then the idea is going to be elaborated in terms of conceptual development. Next, third stage, they are going to be procure the required resources from various sources. Next stage, they are going to be actualize what are the requirements, are uh, is there any gap between the requirement and so on. Next, they are going to start their businesses. On a fine day, from successive businesses, they are going to get some returns, thus called as harvesting and so on. So steps in entrepreneurial process, as I told you: discovery, concept development, resourcing, actualization, and harvesting. So role of entrepreneurs in economic development. So what is the role of these people called as entrepreneurs, or what is the role of entrepreneurship in economic development overall? So let's see what are those things. Entrepreneurship is one of the most important input in the economic development of a nation. Why? The entrepreneur acts as a triggerhead to give spark to the economic activities by entrepreneurial relations. The entrepreneur plays a pivotal role not only in development of the industrial sector of country, but also in the development of service and farming sector and so on. So role of entrepreneurship in economic development, like promotes capital formation, creates large scale employment opportunities for the people are unemployed, promotes balanced regional development, reduces concentration of economic power, wealth creation and distribution, increasing GDP, increasing per capita income of the nation, improvement in the standard of living of the people, promotes countries' exports and trades, induce backward and forward linkage, facilitate overall development and so on. So the role of entrepreneurship in economic development: promotes capital formations, as I told you. So these are the things which I would like to share with you people. With this, thank you very much. Have a good day.